Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back. We're gonna finish up going on the bicycle road of happiness here. That's just what we do. It's been a while, I must say. But I'm pretty certain we need to clean up the rest of the road here. Make it safe for all travelers. So, what would have been last week... Well, is it? No, it's not important. Little watch. Making sure we got this guy. Good. So last week, we had both the Nintendo Direct and the BlizzCon Online event that was happening. And of course, I got hyped up and prepared for that kind of deal. But, like, Nintendo Direct wasn't actually too bad. There was actually some good games coming out there. Not necessarily first-party stuff, but good stuff all the same anyway. So we are, like, it's gonna be good. BlizzCon Online, not so much in terms of contents. Like, at least for what I'm interested in. Like, they talked about, of course, like, World of Warcraft stuff, which is like, that's expected, you know, next chapters and what content you're gonna release and whatnot. The big news from them was pretty much all Diablo stuff, honestly. You had Diablo 2 being remastered. I guess technically it's a remake entirely, because it is a game they said that it's being built from the ground up. So it's kind of like a weird, faithful port that they're re-releasing. They introduced a little bit more news for the upcoming Diablo 4 game, which that should be exciting. And then, there's also Diablo Immortals. Oh, of course it was a critical hit on my Ice-type Pokemon, because of course it was. It's not like I wanted Lapras to gain some experience points. That would have been terrible if I could have gotten Lapras to level up. Terrible, I say. But Diablo Immortals, the MMO mobile-type game coming up. Like, it's not going to be like a true MMO experience, but the idea is that you can party up with anybody out there and run through dungeons kind of deal. So I'm like, technically, it's about as MMO as it gets on a mobile device. But we'll see. We'll see if that comes out to be any good or whatnot. I would rather play it on the computer, personally, but I mean, if it's good enough on mobile, like, it should be. You know, if it manages to still capture the heart of what Diablo is all about and not be sort of a, you know, a money-sucking business, then I really won't have any problems with it. So we'll see. See how that gets on. I'm trying to think. I know they talked a little bit about Hearthstone, their card-based game. But, like, other than just the next chapter in that as well, like, it wasn't, like, super crazy. They did talk about, however, in the realm of Hearthstone, they've got, I think they called it Hearthstone Mercenaries? Could be wrong about that. But it's essentially a single-player-based game where you'll have, like, a team of heroes. They'll level up as you progress through the adventure, per se. Like, not a whole lot of other information about it. Okay, wanted to make sure the team was set up properly. But it's enough where I'm like, I'm listening, because realistically, Hearthstone is a multiplayer-based game. You know, you fight against other opponents out there. So, yes, alright. I think this is the last guy on the bridge. We'll explore just to make sure, because I think everybody else is accounted for here. Oh, good. Wheezing. But yeah, hopefully by the end of the year we'll know more about the mercenaries and what the game is actually going to be about specifically. I'm definitely more interested in the single-player concept rather than facing against other human beings, as it were. And I've played it before, like, long ago. And I'm like, it's not quite my style in a lot of ways. You know, when you grew up playing the Pokemon trading card game, as in the Gen 1 days, good. got poisoned. That's what the doctor ordered. But when you go playing that kind of trading card game, sort of these other card games don't really feel like it's cool because they're original, but I'm like, it's not the same feeling as playing the original, you know, Pokemon card game. Here we go. I'm gonna actually switch that around so I can just go to Psybeam. It is stronger than Confusion, so I might as well use it. Cadaver making short work. No, really short work apparently. Alright then. I guess that'll do. Let's go do some switcheroos. There we go. Work for me, A-button. Obey your master. And just stroll on over here. Yes. If I don't run into the sign at least. Gonna have to heal up. That's just a fact of life. Of course, there's no door there. Like, the whole wall, apparently, is... Anyway. But yeah. Like, not too exciting news from BlizzCon. At least, like, Nintendo Direct, you know, they got the new Smash Fighter, Pyra, and Mythra, which is actually pretty cool. One of the more games I'm more interested in, like, they've got Bravely Default 2 coming out pretty shortly here. That is exciting. Really liked the first two Bravely Default games, which is really weird to say that Bravely Default 2 is the third game of the Bravely Default series. But unlike the second Bravely Default game, this one isn't supposed to be like a direct sequel to it. It's just the next one, essentially like Final Fantasy, where the next number in the Final Fantasy series isn't related to the previous one. Dragon Quest also follows that kind of same train of thought, as it were. Here we go. Alright, no, I'll just stick with Water Gun. That's my type. But yeah, so Bravely Default 2 actually has a demo you can get on the Switch. And it's been updated and I believe rebalanced a bit. Because I remember playing the first one, I was like, it's a little bit hard. Not for easy peasants like myself who are just trying to figure out the mechanics and whatnot of it. Just sitting down trying to have a good time with it. But they've got a demo for that. I believe it's a 5-hour time limit, but you can reset the save file and replay another 5 hours if you so wish. So, and I'm like, it's actually a pretty decent demo, and you start with like some classes right off the bat so you can see how stuff works and whatnot to get the combat system down. Another game that's upcoming, I believe, is called Project Triangle Strategy. It's a tactical turn-based game where if you've ever played like the Final Fantasy Tactics series, it's very similar to that, where you have grid-based formats, there's heights involved and whatnot. Like an archer who's higher up can gain better distance and whatnot there. But it's got this mix of sort of the Telltale games where your reactions and your choices affect the story of the game. And I believe that also has a demo on the Switch. Could be wrong, could be coming out a little bit later. But I'm excited to try that out. Gotta make some space, though, on my Switch. Got a lot of games, let me tell you, on there. And some of them are quite large. Quite large indeed, for my 128 gigabyte SD card I've got on there. Already filling that up like crazy. Trying to think what else. I know there was Splatoon 3, which is... It's cool that they're continuing that series, because it's actually probably, like, one of Nintendo's more popular, like, IPs recently. It's done well. It's not my type of pizza that I like to eat, per se, but it does have a pretty good fan base. And it's essentially a shooter that's a you know, on the Nintendo. Like, that's not something you can easily just casually say. Like, oh, you know, a shooter-based game on the Nintendo consoles. Like, what? There we go. Birdkeeper sending out another Spearow. Would have preferred that before the Fearow, if I'm being honest, but I understand you have a life to live and all that. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, yeah, there's Skyward Sword HD, the re-release. I figured that would be a thing eventually. I actually didn't expect it to be so soon after the remake of Link's Awakening, also on the Switch. I was like, that's a little surprising. But the nice part about the Skyward Sword HD is that it's gonna have... You'll be able to use the gyroscopic controls with the Joy-Cons, but you can also... It'll have essentially what I like to call button mode, where you can just use the right joystick in lieu of motion controls for, like, the sword swinging and whatnot. So that, I'm like... I think that will appeal to people who aren't experienced using the Wii or didn't like the motion controls for it. Because I'm one of those few people, I'm sure, out there who say, like, Skyward Sword's actually a really good Zelda game, but the motion controls can easily... I'm actually gonna play the save, retreat the Lapras. I know he's got Fury Attack. I know he's got it there, and I don't know how much damage it does. He also has Drill Peck, which is something to be worried about. Because, you know, that just happens. I can't even. Yep, good thing that the next hit was a critical hit. Just, beautiful work. Alright. Golly, he is fond. He's super angry that I retreated to the Lapras. Super angry. And I gotta keep going with it. There's nothing to do about it. He's just, I can't, if I retreat, I'm just gonna end up losing Pokemon left and right afterwards, basically. So, the Pokemon that I want the experience points is going to get them. Wow. So a critical hit, cancelled out by the not-effectiveness. Like the one... Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with Psybeam. Come on, Kadabra. Keep it together, mates. Oh, baby. Good thing I got a critical hit, finally. Worth it. Worth it. Cost 3 Pokemon fainted, a 4th one on its way to the hospital. Like, whew. Whew. What am I doing? I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm actually doing pretty good. I have to get back into the swing of things of knowing my timing and whatnot, because I'm used to... Because I took that break with healing my hand when I was only doing streaming, I'm used to, like, knowing, like, when I'm getting close to, like, 45 minutes kind of deal to an hour. I usually get that down pretty pat. But I'm not used to shorter time lanes where I'm aiming for these 20-minute to 25-minute videos. So I gotta get back into the swing of that. Alright, perfect. All set up just the way I like it. Do I keep my bike going through the buildings? I haven't actually been paying attention. Knowing the game, it's gonna be a no. Yeah, I figured. But I made it through that section of Fuchsia faster than walking, and that's important. Time is money, and money goes straight to cat food to keep a cat happy. That is the circle of life right there. Alright, good. A Bellsprout. Introducing Mr. Charmeleon. There we go. Oh, good. Yes. Good, because he put me to sleep immediately. But that's okay, because he is suffering a little burny burns, and I have the Poké Flute. This is one of the reasons I keep the Poké Flute handy, is because I know there's creatures out there that can put me to sleep. You have Sleep Powder and Sing, like, just all over the place. So first off, I don't need to reawaken anybody. That's all I wanted, just to do 2 embers. It would have been fine. The burn helped out a bit, I'm sure. An Oddish, please. Please, madam. It's not gonna work out too well. Oh! I'm surprised that actually didn't work out. Considering how many times... Okay, yes. Less surprised that didn't work out. The number of times I get poisoned on the first try is ridiculous. Just utterly ridiculous. I gotta say, today, for whatever reason, my throat feels, for lack of a better word, sore. It's like it's strained a little bit. I don't feel sick or anything, it just happens to be the voice. Maybe I just need more water. You know, a gallon of water isn't enough for the day. No, we gotta up it up to 2 gallons. That's the only proper way to quench my thirst and fix my throat. It's also really weird because I didn't do streamings yesterday, which I guess would be Tuesday by the time this gets uploaded. So it wasn't that I've been using it. Here we go. In fact, realistically, the only thing I did yesterday was just testing out a headset, just to see if it worked. And that's all I did, and it wasn't even like, I wasn't even doing like a shouting match with it, I just was testing it to make sure that it was working in a party-based function. It wasn't fun. It was just tedious work. Speaking into a mic for like a minute. Hard work. Hard work indeed. Now, oh, Whirlwind, please. Although if you keep using it, that would make me happy. And not Gust, I said Whirlwind. Latin, yes. Especially when I'm up in the air. Whirlwind doesn't do anything in Gen 1 anyway, so it's actually fine. A Farfetch'd, yes. Alright, go back to flying. Alright, go back. And okay, just get a critical hit, I suppose, and knock him out in one go. That is perfectly acceptable, Mr. Firo. I will not say no to that plan. Will not say no to that. Boom. Come on, buddy. Oh, so close. So close to one-shotting without a critical hit. Yep, sit through the Fury attack, which actually was a little bit scary. I think that was 5 points of damage for each hit. A little bit scary. Now, the mighty Pidgey. Quiver before his mighty beak. Steely beak. Those beady eyes. Alright. Dunions. Alright. So now, yes, we are getting much closer to my time limit. I can do one more good fight, though. Firo's still got it in him. He's pumped up. He's ready. My birds are shivering. You're good, aren't you? Well, it's either that or it's cold outside. Which, let me tell you, not realistically cold outside here in Arizona. Nearing March, it's starting to warm up just a little bit. We still have, like, I guess cold nights, as it were. But, I mean, we're looking at, you know, the 70s. We actually had, I think, it was a couple days ago, I think we actually reached, like, 81. It was a little bit of a heat wave. I was like, ugh. Like, I need to live somewhere up more north. Again. Go back to Fury Attack. Yes, trusty Fury Attack. Plus, I don't actually use it that often when I have fly. Alright, Dodua. Oh no, I meant to switch. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There are other people who would like to have experience points. And Firo's just gobbling them all up. It's like those pelicans. Just gobble up fish, swallow them whole kind of deal. It's tragic. Alright, try this one more time here. Yes. Lapras needs them. Lapras wants her fair share of the fishes. Alright, stick with Water Gun. Just because I'm pretty certain it's stronger in most cases than Body Slam, just given with the, if it's a critical hit, it will be. But it should be stronger just because she gets a boost from it with being a water type herself. So, yes. I'm gonna actually switch you around, Firo, so that we can put you in the proper place. Because I intend to save and call it a day here. And if I don't move you now, I'm going to forget. I'll go into battle and be like, wait, why is Firo level 29? Okay, while that notification was technically important, it can be put on hold. Just gotta make sure this all works out well for me here. But it's good to be back. Don't know if I've mentioned that, but nice to be back in the saddle. find a Pokemon to battle. Good times. But that is it for today. Whoops. There we go. If I could go right, so this would be good. We will continue our adventure next time. It's still more trainer fighting, as you would expect, and we'll definitely be doing more of that tomorrow. Or, I guess next week. Days are confusing. Don't judge me. I hope you all are enjoying your day today, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.